So I'm a big fan of Vitus bikes. They have really solid bikes with great geometry, good builds, and affordable pricing. And their bikes tend to be one of the best values in biking, with one of the most popular models being the E-Mythique trail bike, which I've been lucky enough to test out on this channel. And I liked it so much that I bought one for my wife. And Vitus has just announced their electric version of the E-Mythique called the E-Mythique LT. So in this video, we're gonna check out the specs, details, builds, and pricing of this bike, and to see if Vitus has made an affordable electric mountain bike for the masses. So now, let's check out the all-new Vitus E-Mythique LT. So the regular analog Mythique model is a budget-friendly trail bike with pretty standard trail bike geometry. But Vitus has changed the geometry so the E-Mythique LT leans more towards the enduro category than the trail bike category. And it seems to share more with Vitus' Summit model over the Mythique model. And the frame is made of 6061 T6 aluminum. And it has 170mm of travel in the front and 160 in the rear. And its design is a mullet setup. And the E-Mythique LT is significantly different than the regular Mythique, with its 63.5 degree head tube angle, a 77.5 degree seat tube angle, and 445mm chainstays. The motor is a Bafang M510 that puts out 95 Nm of torque and a peak power of 550 watts. And there's 5 assist modes: Eco, Eco Plus, Trail, Boost, and Race. And the battery is integrated into the down tube and has a 630 watt capacity. The range of the E-Mythique depends on many variables, including the assist mode, terrain, temperature, rider weight, and rider input. But throughout testing, Vitus said that they comfortably reached 1,800 meters of climbing from a single charge, with mixed usage in the lower powered modes. And to keep things tidy, the E-Mythique LT uses internal routing for the brake, dropper, and gear cables on side of the down tube. It also has a water bottle mount and uses SRAM's UDH hanger. For the E-Mythique LT, there's 3 available builds. First is the VR, which is the most affordable build. It comes with the SR Suntour Xeron 36 fork and a RockShox Deluxe Select R shock with a custom tune. It has a Microshift Advent X drivetrain with a 10-speed 48-tooth cassette. The brakes are Tektro HSM 535s with 203mm rotors both in the front and in the rear. It also comes with WTB ST Light i30 wheels and V-Attack tires in the front and in the rear. It comes with the Brand X Ascend dropper post. All touch points are nuke-proof branded, and the VR retails for a very reasonable $3,699. Next is the VRS, which is the middle build. It comes with the SR Suntour Durolux 36 Boost EQ fork and a RockShox Deluxe Select Plus shock with a custom tune. It also has a SRAM NX drivetrain with a 12-speed 50-tooth cassette. The brakes are TRP Slate Evos with 203mm rotors both in the front and in the rear. It also comes with WTB ST Light i30 wheels and V-Attack HPL tires both in the front and in the rear. It comes with the Brand X dropper post. All touch points are nuke-proof components, and the VRS retails for $4,199. Last is the VRX, which is the most expensive build. It comes with a RockShox Yari RC fork and a RockShox Super Deluxe Select R shock with a custom tune. It also has a SRAM GX NX drivetrain with a 12-speed 50-tooth cassette. The brakes are SRAM DB8s with 200mm rotors both in the front and in the rear. It also comes with WTB KOM Trail i30 wheels and V-Attack HPL tires both in the front and the rear. It has a Brand X Ascend dropper post. All touch points are nuke-proof branded, and the VRX retails for $4,599. So I've been waiting for this bike for a very long time, and I'm super excited for it. E-mountain bikes in general have progressively gotten much cheaper for some pretty amazing builds, and I think that this bike, along with the Polygon Ziscu T7E and the Vitus E-Summit, are some of the best values right now for an e-bike. And since this model is so dramatically different than the analog Mythique, it makes me wonder 2 things. 1, if Vitus will be releasing a short travel version of this bike, and 2, is this bike too close to their E-Summit? And the E-Summit has very similar geometry, travel, and it's also a mullet setup. Now if you only intend on buying the cheaper versions of the E-Mythique LT, then yes, it's a much better value. But the VRX build is only $100 cheaper than the cheapest E-Summit build, and the E-Summit comes with the same shock, a Burlier domain fork, a Shimano EP600 motor, the same size battery, same brakes, a Shimano drivetrain, and Maxxis tires. But even though this bike is very similar to the E-Summit, I'm super stoked that Vitus made it. And this bike is on my short list of e-mountain bikes that I want to buy. With the values, builds, geometry, and designs that Vitus has been doing lately, I think that they're one of the most exciting bike brands in the industry right now. But the real question is, are you excited for the E-Mythique LT? Do you plan on buying one? What are other alternative e-bikes that also have a great value? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.